Last night, you and others, OIC 14 ambassador in our Prime Minister meet. And how do you see Bangladesh position in Palestine? And Prime Minister already says last day, told about you.
Good morning to you, to your viewer, to all my brothers and sisters in Bangladesh. It's a good opportunity to address also the people of Bangladesh who has done a tremendous job for the sake of Palestine, for the sake of freedom, for the sake of those people under occupation, for the people under siege. Our people appreciate very much your standing with them, and it means a lot. It means really a lot for all the Palestinian people in and outside Palestine. So we thank you for that. Related to the meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister, it was really a great honor and pleasure to meet the Honorable Prime Minister. We know that the vocal support of the Prime Minister always to the people of Palestine. This is not something new. It is in the family. It's rooted in the family. The support that Palestine received from Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in the early 70s, and then she seems to have inherit most of the things from Sheikh Mujib, from her father, and she continued on the same path. Because I think this family, specifically for the family of Sheikh Hasina, the tragedy that happened to this family, it makes her understand exactly the feeling, what does it mean when you lose the loved one, when you lose your father, your mother, your brothers, your sisters, all this. She understands because she faced these things with her sister, so she can feel and imagine how those people in Gaza and in the West Bank, when they lose the loved one, what it means to them. So this is the kind of sentiment that she has. Plus, that she's a lady of a principle. We know that, everybody knows that. And from that principle, she acts. And the other thing is that she knows how the people feeling. So it's she acts according to the people. She acts according to what she sees right, and she acts according to what she inherited from her father. All that lead her to the same direction, the freedom of the people of Palestine, the right of the people of Palestine, the just for the people of Palestine. It was great from all our brothers from the OIC country. We are grateful to all of them. They initiated actually this meeting, and we are fully committed to one thing: help, support, defend the right of the Palestinian people, and clearly try to expose the Israeli occupation forces to the world, who they really are, how savage they are, what kind of crimes they're committing. They're committing crimes against humanity. It's a genocide taking place in Gaza, absolutely. And this is the people that they pretend to be civilized and pretend to be democracy, and pretend, I cannot understand it really. See all these bombs that we receive, it is all made in USA. The plane which shell all our children and kill them, cut them into pieces, just like the hospital, the last thing, it's all made in USA. So they are part of it. They supply and they supply Israel with everything Israel really needs, and everything Israel does not even need. Still they supply. They fabricate everything. They fabricate the stories. They're trying to fabricate everything, including the bombing of the hospital. This massive bomb took place in Gaza, in the hospital, killing hundreds of people, injuring thousands of people. And they have changed the narrative 3 times in a few hours, the Israeli. The first hour, they admit that they did it because they said Hamas was hiding underneath the hospital. The second, after some few hours, they said, no, Hamas did it. And the second day, they said Jihad Islami did it. So they don't know what to say. Neither Hamas nor Jihad nor any faction in Palestinian resistance movement has such a massive power of rocket to destroy a hospital the way it happened. No one has this power. If you don't have the weapon, you cannot be accused of committing the crime. So it's unfortunate. So the media and the government,
like Western media, maybe.
yeah, of course, I'm talking about the Western media.
Yeah.
That's why I really request the media in Bangladesh, really. It's very important. I want to say that through you. I see always newspaper and they mention the word IDF. IDF means Israeli Defense Forces. Well, show me, is Israeli army are really defense forces? They're occupying forces. That's what they are. They occupy our land, so they are called occupying forces. So I request the media to make sure about it when they address the issue. It's Israeli occupying forces and not Israeli defense forces. Please make sure about this issue. If you really wanted to support the right of the people of Palestine, you have to make sure of your wording. Also for the press, do not fall in the trap of the Western media, because that will be, you'll regret that in the future. You have to answer your people, you have to answer your readers, because then later on the people will discover the truth and they will trust you no more. We know you mean well, but at the same time, make sure of the sources, check it, recheck it, double check it from different sources before you put it in your papers or before you speak out. For some TV, also some of your colleagues, also they made a big mistake actually. Because this information or this fake news, it will disturb the unity among the Palestinian people. It will really disturb, and it will only help Israel, no one else. You will be helping our enemy without your knowledge. So don't do that.
What is the current situation in Gaza and what can the Muslim world do to overcome this situation?
Muslim world can do a lot of things. Let's start with the situation in Gaza. Well, frankly speaking, I have no contact with Gaza for the last 24 hours. Actually 48 hours, not 24 hours. I tried to contact, I used to be in touch with the student who graduated from Bangladesh and who's a doctor now in Palestine. And they're doing a tremendous job. They are doing great, really great. Bangladesh should be proud of them because they studied here, graduated from here, trained here and went to Palestine. Israel has such a very sophisticated weapon. They can monitor the telephone, whatever you say. They, for example, has killed already almost 25 activists who just make phone call and speak to other abroad about the situation in Gaza Strip. They don't want that to happen. So some people are really scared. We don't want them to be in danger just to speak to us. So for 48 hours, we cannot get in touch with them. And then finally we discover why. They don't want it to be in touch with anyone because they can be hit from air missiles with their family. So the situation, as we watch in the different newspaper, different channels, the only news we get from Ramallah because our head office is in Ramallah. So we receive daily news, every hour, every minute actually, every second news about the casualties, about the suffering of the people. Well, words cannot explain the suffering of the people of Palestine. It's impossible. I mean, you can just imagine. You're in such a small, tiny place in Gaza Strip. People are everywhere. It's the most densely populated area in the world. You have airstrike from the top. You can see from the Mediterranean Sea in front of you, next to you to the shore, the Israeli different ships and fleets shelling and bombing. And from the ground, you can see the tanks. So, and the drone, plus the drones. And you have no electricity, you have shortage of food and shortage of water, and you have no medicine. And if you have mobile, you cannot charge it. The battery is dead. And you have no internet. And you have kids around you. So can you imagine? You have 50,000 women pregnant 50,000 women in Gaza Strip pregnant. 5,500 of them are due this month to deliver. There's no bed left in the hospitals, or bed are, because we have over 12,000 wounded people. Israel has bombed 57 hospitals, clinics, and health facilities during this atrocity taking place. Only the people in Gaza Strip can explain to you of their suffering. We have a saying in Arabic, if your hand in water is different than if your hand in fire. It's a different feeling. We can feel for them, yes, but we haven't never been in this situation. We cannot imagine how they are living. But one thing is very important, they have extremely high spirit. That is the very important thing, extremely important. They can give us spirit, they can, make our spirit high also. When you speak to them, you feel that they're in a football match, they're not in a war. They have very high spirit. They said, the least we do is we have Allah. That's what they always say, we have Allah behind us. People who have such kind of belief, I don't think they can be defeated. I don't think they can be defeated, ever. They cannot be defeated.